One day, a professor walked into the classroom carrying a large glass jar. As always, a spark of intelligent curiosity shone in his eyes. The students watched him closely, filled with great interest. Placing the jar on the table, the professor reached underneath and brought out several large rocks. Each one was about the size of a fist. He carefully placed them into the jar one by one until no more could fit. Then he turned to the class and asked, "Is this jar full now?" The students observed that no more rocks could be added, so most nodded and replied, "Yes, sir, it's full." The professor smiled, then pulled out a bag of small pebbles. Pouring them into the jar, he gave it a slight shake. The pebbles rolled into the gaps between the rocks. Again, he asked, "Is it full now?" Some students hesitated, but many answered, "Yes, sir, now it's really full." Next, he brought out a bag of sand and began pouring it in. The grains of sand slipped into all the remaining spaces between the rocks and pebbles. Once again, he asked, "Is it full now?" This time, the entire class responded together. Probably. Finally, the professor took a mug of water and poured it into the jar. The water seeped through the sand, filling it completely. He smiled and said, "Yes, now the jar is truly full." Looking at the class, he explained, "This jar represents your life. The big rocks are the most important things: your family, your health, your meaningful relationships, and your personal dreams and goals. Even if you lose everything else, as long as you still have these, your life will feel whole. The pebbles represent other significant things: your career, your house, your car, or your university degree. These matter too, but they're not as essential as the rocks. And the sand? That's the little stuff: scrolling endlessly on social media, unnecessary shopping, or small daily tasks that don't truly add meaning to your life. If you fill the jar with sand or pebbles first, there will be no room left for the big rocks. The same is true for life. If you spend all your time and energy on the little things or less important matters, you'll have no space for what truly matters. Your rocks are the pillars of your life: your family, your health, your dreams, your passions. If you fail to value them and don't focus on them first, one day you may realize you've left out the most important parts of life. The professor's final message carried deep meaning. Place your rocks first. They give your life its foundation and purpose. Never let the pebbles and sand take their place. At the end of your journey, it's the weight of those rocks that will define the value of your life. So, fill your life with things that nourish your soul and fulfill your heart. The rest, the pebbles and sand, are just external. After finishing, a student raised their hand and asked, "Sir, what does the water represent?" The professor smiled and said, "Great question. The water shows that no matter how busy life feels, there is always room for small moments of joy, like having a cup of tea or coffee with a friend. Often we try to balance priorities and cram everything into our limited hours, forgetting what's truly important. This jar, this life, is not limitless. If you fill it first with sand and pebbles, there will be no room for the rocks. So, I say, place your rocks first: your family, your health, your dreams, your love. Make time for your loved ones. Take care of your physical and mental health. Pursue your dreams with courage. And in between, leave space for learning, growth, and empathy. And the water. Those are the tiny joys, the shared laughs, the beautiful little moments with friends. No matter how full life feels, there's always room for those bursts of happiness. Yes, the pebbles and sand are necessary too, but don't let them replace the rocks. Remember, life isn't about being busy. It's about being meaningful. It's not about counting the days, but making the days count. Create balance between the rocks, the pebbles, the sand, and the water. A balance that brings true joy and completeness to your life. If this story touched your heart, share it with others so they too can reflect on what truly matters. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. See you in the next one.